Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Meet the Liaisons, Indiana. Before we get started, I'd like to go over a few items so that you know how to participate in today's event. We've taken a screenshot of the attendee interface. You should see something that looks like this on your own computer desktop in the upper right corner. You're listening in using your computer speaker systems by default, but if you would prefer to join over the phone, just select telephone in the audio pane and the dial-in information will be displayed. You will have the opportunity to submit text questions to our presenter today by typing your questions into the questions pane of the control panel. You can send in your written questions at any time during the presentation. We will collect these and address them during the Q&A session at the end of today's presentation. And I would now like to introduce the session moderator, Mary Patricia Kent. Mary Patricia, take it away.
Thank you so much, Lucy. Good morning, everyone. We're so glad you could join us here today. I'm Mary Patricia Kent. I'm Director of Marketing with Underground Safety Alliance, which is the umbrella organization for Indiana and Kentucky 811. You are going to receive a survey about all of today's webinars tomorrow, which is Friday, and we would really love it if you would complete that and provide your feedback. We will also share an email in the coming weeks that gives you access to the recordings of all presentations from today. As Lucy mentioned, please submit questions using the questions panel on your GoToWebinar screen. It is now my pleasure to introduce the speaker for this session, Neil Scarborough from Indiana 811. Neil is the Northwest Division Liaison for Indiana 811. He lives in Brownsburg with his wife, Kathy, 2 kids, and dog, Noodle. His background is in client and contract management, and he has worked in various industries from chemical transport to specialized retail. He is a military veteran, having served proudly in the United States Army. He holds a bachelor's degree in business administration from Ashford University, where he graduated magna cum laude. In his spare time, he enjoys computer programming and building web-based apps. Neil has been with Indiana for just 4 months. Please join me in giving Neil Scarborough a warm welcome.
Good morning. My name is Neil Scarborough. I'm the Damage Prevention Liaison for the Northwest section of the state, filling in for Kelly this morning. I want to thank all of you for taking the time to sit in on the session today, and I hope you get a lot of your questions answered about our new team here at USA. Sorry. I wanted to start off by reading the mission statement for Indiana 811 as it's relatable to what we as a team do and strive to help with. Our mission is to lead Indiana in promoting safety and preventing damage to underground facilities by providing excellent coordination and notification services at a reasonable cost. Today, we're going to be going through 5 sections. We're going to talk about who we are, how and when to get a liaison involved, the training opportunities that we provide, hot topics that we're coming into as we're out meeting with members, and we'll have a question and answer session. Please remember to hold your questions till the end. Indiana 811 is a nonprofit corporation made up of member operators of underground facilities in Indiana, designed to reduce the number of damages to buried utilities, promote safe digging practices statewide. This free service helps prevent damage incidents which can result in millions of dollars of property damage, the interruption of utility service, personal injuries, and even loss of life. First, we're going to talk a little bit about Kelly. Kelly started her career off at Vectron working with damage prevention and public awareness team for about 3.5 years. She was blessed to be able to dress up as the mascot for events and also host outreach and educational events. She then decided to move to Baltimore, where she worked for Miss Utility, the one call center for Maryland, DC, and Delaware, where she trained excavators and worked with web ticket entry users. She got the opportunity to move back home to Indiana to manage the INFA program through Indiana 811 in April of 2018, and most recently was promoted to the Damage Prevention Liaison Manager for Indiana in March. The Indiana 811 Liaison program was developed this year. It's a brand new department. We act as a liaison between the member utilities, contractors, homeowners in the field, and we offer training opportunities to the excavators and members. This fine looking young gentleman is me. I cover the northwest section of the state. A lot of you in that area have already heard from me. Fun fact about me, while I was in the Army, I was tasked with driving Russian inspectors around when they came to inspect for nuclear arms reduction. Little tidbit, as big as the Army is, you would be surprised at how many people there are that have both a bus license and a top secret clearance. It was a very small subset, so I ended up going around the country every time the Russians showed up. Kim Anderson has our Northeast division. Her professional experiences include pipeline infrastructure design and project management, management consultation, strategic implementation, and damage prevention. She has coordinated programs with the EPA and PHMSA on behalf of energy companies across the United States. She received her Bachelor of Arts and MBA from Purdue University. Fun fact about her is she was actually struck by lightning. Mason has the Southwest division of the state. He, prior to joining Indiana 811, Mason worked in the sanitation industry and spent over 8 years as an operation technician for Marathon Petroleum Corporation. Mason is a graduate of Purdue University and has a bachelor's degree in agribusiness management. Lauren Lockhee is our input program manager. She attended Holy Cross College, where she graduated and received her Bachelor of Arts in Business with a minor in Marketing, Communications, and Psychology. Lauren previously worked with Foyt Family Wines and Foyt Wine Vault as the general manager, handling event coordination and sales. Fun fact is she's played a competitive golf since she was in the 4th grade. Here's a map of our liaison team. One thing I wanted to point out is we cover the regions that we're into, but if you need something and can't get a hold of one of us, any of us are happy to help. We're all available no matter where you're at. The liaison team by the numbers. As of October 16th of this year, here are some of the numbers that may be important to you. Our goal for 2020 outreach was to reach out to 550 members. The goal for member visits is 125, and I can tell you that we've passed that 125 number now. Service leads means we've directed 57 member utilities over to our member services department to update something on their account, whether it be their shapefile, their contacts, their address. 10 members wanted additional web training, and our amazing web team scheduled training with them. We have trained 8 different companies, 3 completely virtual, and have dropped off 62 banners. While some of these numbers may seem low, they are more than we had at this time last year, so we're extremely proud of the team, the training we've done over the past few months, and how quickly we caught on to things. We are extremely flexible, and we're trying to make a difference in every member we contact.
Sorry, Neil, I'm having issues playing the video right now. I think we might have to skip it. My apologies.
No worries, let's drive on. Is the screen back yet? Training. Even though we're not doing CPR training, it's important to know that this is why we do all the training in the first place. So we can learn from our mistakes, not make mistakes, and prevent damages out in the field. We want everyone to go home the same way they came to work. We've come across lots of companies coming in to do work from out of state. If you know of any of these, get with your local liaison to get in front of them and educate them on working in our state. During our trainings, we discuss all things 811 at a very high level. We discuss 8126, our expectations of excavators, working in Indiana, ticket life, ticket types, the tolerance zone, etc. We can do virtual or in-person training, as we've done both already this year.
Neil, you should be able to just click once onto the screen and then you can advance the slides.
When to utilize your local liaisons. If you need mediation between companies, between members even, let us know. We're happy to sit down and talk to both organizations and bring them together. We'll schedule joint meetings. If you're having any issues with job sites or locates, updating your maps and records has been a big thing this year. We've actually done that for a lot of members so far. We will assist with training or trade shows and act as guest speakers at DPCs and other events on different topics. The hot topics we've been running into this year as we're out meeting members. White lining. It's not a requirement by Indiana law, but certainly a best practice, and we've been trying to promote it. The ticket scope. We're asking excavators not to call in 2 miles of a project if you're not going to get to it within 20 days. If you have 20 crews out there ready to rock and roll, that's awesome. But you're holding locates up by calling in more work than actually is going to be done within the time frame. I understand that you get ahead of schedule and can work ahead, but be realistic when putting down your scope of work. Remarks. Request remarks from the utility who hasn't marked yet, not everyone. If you participate in positive response through the one call, one of the perks of that is that you don't get charged for a second notice request. Dan will be talking about positive response to the one call for an entire session, so I encourage you to be a part of that for additional information. The challenges of COVID-19. I don't know about you, but COVID-19 was certainly challenging, not just for the industry, but personally as well. I've had 2 kids here at home with me, and during this time, I thought I was being the rock star. We did activities, we had theme nights, even brought the Kona ice truck to the house for reinforcements at one point in time, because we literally couldn't go anywhere or do anything. I hope I'm not the only one who had a child sneak in and out of the virtual meeting dressed as Elsa from Frozen and got sick of cooking meals at home. It was desperate enough to even get on TikTok and report how sick of cooking I actually was. The purpose of this is that the industry felt worn down and challenged during this time. Everything was shut down, no one was working. Really, it was a hard time to make phone calls and emails and expect a response at the heart of it all. We came into 2020 short-staffed, and we had this awesome new staffing plan where we were hiring a ton of new folks, from the damage prevention specialists, which we call our folks who take the calls, to marketing, to IT, to adding the new liaison team, etc. Well, COVID hit and we had to put everything on hold. Regardless of a pandemic, work certainly didn't stop. Our industry doesn't allow work to just stop and then you add on everyone at home who decides to start and finish that project they hadn't got around to in 10 years. We were overwhelmed. As you are probably aware, our hold times were, and I'll be blunt, atrocious. We couldn't keep up with the calls coming in. Even now, your best bet to get locates is through 811now.com for a single address ticket, or through the web ticket entry on the Indiana 811 website for multiple addresses. We also struggled with getting member visits scheduled as a lot of offices were closed and we couldn't get in touch with anyone. We are still currently struggling with this as this new wave of COVID has hit, and we expect to be scheduling lots of virtual meetings and phone calls with our members. How can you be better? Here's our call to action for you as operators, utility owners, foremen, first responders, vice presidents, etc. How can you as a company be better? You now have a face, a phone number that's not just an 800 number, etc., to get in touch with someone to help you out anytime, day or night. Get us involved in joint meetings. Get an unbiased person a seat at the table. Even now, while our average speed of answer has gotten better, your best bet to get locates is through 811now.com for a single address ticket or through the web ticket entry at the Indiana 811 website for multiple addresses. Utilizing positive response to the One Call Center. We can't stress this enough. Communication is so important when 5, 8, 12 utilities are listed on a ticket. We all need to work together, and by everyone joining positive response through the One Call, it's a step in the right direction. Lastly, let's work together. We fight each other in the industry with, well, our work is more important and locates aren't done on time, and this company won't meet on site during the planning process, etc. It's not about the dollar. It's about the safety. It's about communication. It's about damage prevention. It's about going home at the end of each night to see those crazy kids of yours, your dog, your spouse, your friends. We all need to do a better job of working together and communicating better. And that's why our liaison team is in place to help you out with these things. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Neil. We really appreciate it. We're now going to begin answering any questions that you may have submitted during today's presentation. As a reminder, you can submit questions by typing them in through the chat function, which is in the questions pane of your attendee control panel. Here for questions. Does anyone have any questions about anything to do with the liaison group at Indiana 811, what they can help you out with, events they might be going to, anything like that? No questions yet. We'll just give it a second. And just as a reminder, if any of you are planning on going to any of the other sessions of our conference today, which we certainly hope you are, because we've only just been getting started, you must be registered for each individual session. So if you go to, if there's some that you have not registered for, you still have time. You can go to midwest811conference.com, and it just takes a couple seconds and you'll get sent a confirmation email right away. But you do need to register for each individual presentation. So we have a great block coming up next, and then right after lunch, we have Mercedes Ramirez Johnson, which is our second keynote safety speaker. She has the most incredible life story. You won't want to miss it. So please sign up for that session if you haven't yet. Okay, so it looks like we do have a couple questions here. Can we see the slide with the contact information again? So can we go back to that slide?
There you go. Oop, down. Right there, that map. Right above it.
Sorry, there's a little, there we go. There's a little bit of a delay there. And this is also on our website, indiana811.com, in the education section, which is at the bottom of our website. You can find it on there too. All this information about liaisons is on our website. Okay, this message is from Rick Smith. And Neil is brand new, and he's been wonderfully cooperative filling in for us today. Thank you, Neil. If we can't answer any of these questions, we'll be sure to get back to you. But What has been the most common issue you have heard in the field so far, and how can operators help you?
The white lining and the tickets being put in out of the scope of the work for 20 days. The biggest thing we're hearing, and they both go back to this, is the locates aren't getting done on time. And a lot of it is we're a victim of what we are doing. You mark out, I just went up and had to mediate with a crew, a locating crew. The excavator had put in 650 feet down both sides of this road. And when all he needed was 25 feet of a pole across the street to 25 feet of the other pole, he tied up an entire crew for an entire day to basically bore across the road. I had to explain to him what he had done to everybody else that needed to locate that day. So, having your tickets incorrect and only doing what you can do in that 20 days, white lining where you can, would go a long way to everything running smoother.
Wonderful. Thank you, Neil. The next question is from Leanna Wasmer, and she says, our company is in Evansville, Indiana, so our liaison is Mason. Are all training classes virtual, or are they available on DVS or DVD? Maybe she means.
They're not available on DVD yet. They can be done virtually, or he can do them in person. But that might not be a bad idea for us to get a copy of it recorded.
Yep, and I just wanted to give you all the more detailed information again. So if you go to indiana811.org or kentucky811.org, they're having a Kentucky 811 liaison session now as well. You're on the homepage of the website, you scroll all the way down, and it's at the bottom footer, and it says education, and you click on it, and it's this exact same map, and it has everyone's email address, phone number, and you can click on that and it takes you right to their email. So that way you can access it really quickly on there as well. Okay, this is a question from Miranda Whitehead. Is there a contact list? I'm not sure what you mean. If you mean for your liaison, then I think you're set with the information I just gave you for the website. Thank you. That is what Miranda wondered. Thank you, Miranda. I already found it. Okay. This is from Brandon Eppel. If I'm trying to figure out if a communication line is active and I don't know who it belongs to, is the liaison my best place to start?
Not.
And that's an interesting question. You would probably have to contact someone at that company if you know whose line it belongs to. That would be the best place to start, is to contact someone at that organization, because we really wouldn't be able to help you with that probably.
Oh, they're talking about a line they found buried.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Or just one that they think might be under there. Okay, let's see here. Okay. This is a message from Phil Ross. Hello, Phil. When will the hold times or very long warning be removed from the 811 call-in message? This message causes some homeowners to hang up and not get a ticket, in my experience. Well, we probably have kept it that way just because of with the COVID-19 pandemic. It's just something we wanted to alert folks to, but it's something we might be able to take off in the next few weeks as the ASAs have gone down a lot. But that's very good feedback. Thank you, Phil. Tracy Bryant. Hi, Tracy from Centerpoint Energy says, great addition to damage prevention in Indiana. Thank you for all the efforts. Wonderful.
Thank you, Tracy.
Are there any more questions? A couple more minutes. Okay, well, if there's no more questions, I think we could probably wrap things up here. We really appreciate everyone attending today's webinar. Sorry about the video. If you have any other questions, you can visit the contact page on the conference website. That's midwest811conference.com, and we'll be sure to get back to you very quickly. Again, please look out for your survey tomorrow. And last but not least at all is to please register for any sessions you want to attend this afternoon. You do have to register for each one individually. You can register for them right up into the time they're starting and start at any time. And a confirmation with the GoToWebinar link will automatically be sent to you and be in your email right away. So thank you very much. Thank you, Neil, for presenting, and we will see you all in a short while. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.